Hello! Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been quite a bit of time since I've done anything. I had to upgrade all my equipment and fix certain problems with my computer, but I'm back and I'm ready to get some stuff done and put some stuff out. So today I'm going to be playing a popular card trading game called Magic the Gathering. It's quite popular amongst card geeks, and I'll be playing online and drafting. If you're not familiar with the game, it may be hard for you to follow stuff, but if you do know the game, or perhaps you have an interest in card games, stay tuned. Got some cool stuff coming. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and as it will always be from now on, feel free to express your thoughts and opinions on what could be improved, and especially this game, which is quite complicated, thoughts on what I could have done to maybe play better. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I hope I do well. So I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so we're ready. Well, I'm drawn to Relic Abandon because aggro decks are a really common pick in these kind of drafts. This card is insane. This is good in their mono red deck. And, you know, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure. I've never played with it or played against it. I'm just going to take it because it devotes you just to one color, and 3-color strategies are pretty meh in the Theros block. And these are all pretty decent commons, but some of those bound to wheel. Like, I think this might wheel considering what's else in the pack, but, you know, we'll see. I'm just going to take this because it seems a bit safer and it seems exploitive. This is a very good card. Like, very good card. I mean, it's good in almost every situation. Its power level in draft is just enough so that I think its power level warrants it being taken. It's not very expendable, and we can see that the player took the rare as well, so it must have been a pretty decent rare to pass this. I'm just gonna take it. Well, as you can see, we're not really rewarded with anything after that pick. The card is decent, but mono green is just not a deck. This is a very good card if you're gonna go red blue, which is also a deck, although you really have to get the right cards. Supply lane green is a very safe pick, and we could just try going and trying taking all the best cards in the first few picks and seeing what opens up, which is pretty good, although Theros block punishes you for not picking the correct cards, and in addition, not having enough playables, decent playables, because the decks are pretty powerful. I'm just going to take it and see what we get in the next pack. I don't think we're going to go blue or black. The cards in this pack don't give us enough. So this brawler is definitely decent. I just don't like it how it can be a no creature if you don't have any other creatures. So I'm just going to take this Satyr Grove Dancer. It's a pretty good card on its own for just a 2-drop, and its Fauna Fertility is decent, but it used up your first 2 turns, so that really I don't like. Well, we're not really being rewarded with red, and as you can see, there's not really any white here either. Bizarre Tower Archer is just too restrictive on mana. Solidarity of Heroes, it could be a play, considering that we have a Supply Lane Cranes and a Satyr Grove Dancer, but you really want it with heroic creatures. We don't have any heroic creatures. That being said, it might be the pick, but this is a pretty weak pack. I'm just gonna take this Rise of Eagles because it's the best card in the pack right now. Well, there's a lot of decent cards in here. I don't know, these blue cards are all not bad. Not amazing. I think we're gonna play playing green for sure. Red, white, or blue as second color is still to be decided on. I really want to play red, but red is not looking very open. This is just too much of an iffy card, and I don't know what to take here. I'm just gonna take this safest pick. That's very good and very powerful. I would be sad to pass another one of these, just to be even better in multiples. But I don't know. This is just very powerful. I think we might be going green-white, but I am not terribly sure. I'm just gonna take this. Well, as you can see, it was a good choice because this shows up next pack. I mean, after all, the phalanx formation is uncommon. So we're gonna take it. That Relic of Abandon probably would be a bit annoying if we have to play against it, but we'll live. So this is an interesting situation because Reapwood is Sown is extremely powerful in our deck. Like, very, very, very good. But half the time, much more than half the time, it just wheels because no one plays green-white. Now the question you want to ask yourself, are you going to take the risk to take a card that people will probably take, or are you going to just take the card that's good for your deck? Now, I'd be happy to take this Elite Skirmisher, because that will definitely not wheel on this. I mean, this is a very niche card. It might not wheel, it might wheel. It almost always wheels. I'm going to take my chances and take the card that I am sure will not wheel. If it wheels, I'd be very surprised. This little Pugger says it's pretty close, but no. Taking that. This Nyxborn Shieldman has a lot of potential abuse. We could just take the removal. We don't have any removal yet, but this would be a pretty solid piece of creature to get. I'm just going to take the removal. More than half the time, if not all the time, you'll want at least something, and green-white kind of lacks it, so I think it's a pretty important point to get. Okay, well, this pack has a lot of juicy stuff. This being your third pick is a pretty good sign. A pretty good sign that the other one will wheel as well. If you can get two of these, it'll be pretty sick. I think I'm just gonna take this, actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this. Reason being, I think this might still have a chance of wheeling, and our first one that we passed will almost certainly wheel. Oh, okay. Well, we've got 3 very solid green creatures here. I think this is the most powerful of them all. But yes, it is the most powerful one, and we're going to take it. Good late game, good early game, because of its heroic ability. That Mortal's Ardor is pretty decent. This creature, however, I think just warrants us taking it. I think we'll find just find targets for our creatures later, but creatures go a lot further away, and often what you'll find is that you'll be losing because you won't have enough creatures, and I don't want that to happen. That also being said, sometimes you'll lose because you don't have the removal, and you can see we have a second Exorcist here. I'm still going to take this. The more threats you can put on the table, the better. That also being said, we'll have to find just a few more good heroic targets later. Let's take this. Well, this is the pack, and it did not wheel. Well, that's unfortunate. I would have loved to have it for the deck, but I still don't regret picking up those Elite Skirmishers in favor of it, because the card is just so powerful. That being said, also it's depressing that there's someone in this draft who's going green-white as well. And you probably mop them up. This is a pretty lame pack. I mean, there's nothing in here for us. We could take this, but this just won't cut it. I'll take this. This is tempting, but it only really triggers heroic and draws a card. That's decent. I'm just gonna take the threat. So, I mean, our deck looks pretty decent. We still need a few more. Oh. Okay. Well, that's just perfect. Yeah. So, we know that someone else in this draft either is hate picking these green-white cards or is playing green-white themselves. They might have just as good of a deck as us as well, and we are not going to pass this. No way. Even though there's probably only one person in the draft. I mean, this is a very hate pickable card as well, because on turn 2 it's just a huge play. Oh man. Okay, this is a very difficult situation. God's Willing is extremely strong. Nespian Asp is insanely strong. And so is this. I mean, Trample is humongous in this format, and combined with our Phalanx formation, I mean, yeah, we can see this person also took the rare. So, I can't be too sure. There's so many strong cards in this pack that I'm just not so sure at all if which of these cards will wheel that we could use. This one, this one, this one, or this one. But I'm gonna take the uncommon because uncommons are less likely to show up, and this one in particular is extremely strong in our deck because plus this triggers heroic. So as you can see, another God's Willing that comes up. We do have a time defeat, which doubles as removal and heroic and life gain, if you can see it. This Voyaging Satyr is a very strong pick as well. I think, however, that the removal is the pick. Our white is very strong. This time defeat is a very good addition to our deck. The God's Willing is also extremely strong. I'm hoping more will come around. And wow, the green just keeps on coming. Green is extremely strong. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks here, really. This is the strongest one. This is obviously the most bomby. And you can start targeting it with, massive stuff like Annihilus Emissary. I mean, opponent just loses, really. Nesting Courser is just an all-around strong card. This is also a very tricky card, but this, I think, this has the most potential, as we might just lose to Flyers, and this just stops them. Now, in contrast, we don't really have a clear pick here, I don't think. I mean, it's not really much for us. How many humans do we have? That's not a human. Not a human. That's a human. It's not a human. Not a human. 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 Huh. This could be a good pick. I'm just gonna take it. It's a creature that can be really annoying for our opponents. Well, we're not gonna splash red, I don't think, but it's tempting. This is a pretty decent sideboard card, and I would probably sideboard it against a blue-white deck, and I would like to have it available. Of course, we get that though. I think this Leonian Snarcaster was our pick. I do not look forward to playing against that Kragma Warcaller and this. These are all very solid cards, but there's nothing that can be done. Really, I don't think. I think this card is a pretty decent addition to our deck. Oh, what can be done? I mean, if someone can piece together that black-red Minotaur's deck, I mean, they are probably going to win this draft. But it's too late for me to hate pick it now because we already passed one. It's just too late. We have to take the card that we actually might play. We don't have a terribly huge number of enchantments. In fact, almost none. Just gonna take that, I think. Yeah. The Lord of Band Elder is quite strong if you can get an enchantment down. Oh. Well, I'm pretty happy to take that. So, this is our deck. Let's see what we can cut. We have a huge number of creatures, which, I mean, we only have 5 non-creature spells, which is a little less than I would like. I might actually be tempted to cut that Font of Fertility. because our 2-drop slot is so important. We want to be casting things on turn 2 and not activating Font of Fertility. We don't have a lot of 4-drops to ramp into either. We don't have a lot of ramp at all, really. So I'm happy cutting it. It doesn't even help our heroic as well. I am wary about like, this card is very powerful. You can cast it on turn 2. I'm a bit worried. Let's check my colors. We definitely have more green. I mean, we're gonna have to cut something. Any of our other 2-drop plays, except maybe Cavalry Pegasus. I think I'm gonna cut this because, I mean, it's a very powerful card to get on turn 2, as I said, but these other 2-drop plays are just as decent. And really, the 3 power, I mean, if left uninterrupted, it's decent. But there are a lot of 2-drop plays that just trade with this. And the mono restrictions, I feel, don't make it worth it. I don't know what to do with that. I think I might just cut it, because it's a card that invites me to flood out more. And it's pretty hard to deal with, that's for sure, but the lower my curve, the better I think. And this, I mean, it does add something, but yeah, I mean, I've got to cut something. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty strong. I would be pretty unhappy about casting these snare casters on turn 2. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with this. I mean, we got some weak creatures like the snare caster or the Pegasus and the Skirmisher, but you don't even... Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with this. I mean, as the title of this series is, you know, I'm not professional, but I feel pretty comfortable with my chances here. That being said, if things aren't working, we always have a sideboard. Time to add basic lands. 10-7 seems pretty decent. 10-4, 7 planes. We'll stick with that. I mean, Magic Online is such that anyone who's played it a lot, like myself, knows that even the smallest things can just screw you over. Like, you just put one more land in, suddenly you're drawing all of that land, and none of your other lands. So here we are for round 1. This is a very depressing hand. We have no cards in our hand we can cast, and the chance we draw a forest is very high. But I mean, if we don't, and if I know anything about Magic Online, half the time you won't. And I'm tired of losing the first round, but I'm even more tired of getting no land in my hand. We have 2 cards that are unplayable without drawing 2 forests off the top. I'm just gonna mulligan. It's risky. Well, yeah, you see what happens. What can happen, you know? I mean, you take a risk either way. I took a risk, and perhaps it was probably a bad idea, but we're gonna mulligan this hand, of course. This hand is actually very keepable. The best hand I've seen so far. Actually has both colors. This hand is it's very possible to win with this hand. It would be a bit difficult. It would require me to draw a bit well, but I still feel pretty comfortable with my chances, and that's a very good draw. I'm gonna cast, yes, this first, so that at least Skirmisher will be able to get flying when it attacks. Our opponent is going a bit slowly. That's a good card. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of removal. Because Elite Skirmisher, we have a pretty good start going. I mean, he's black-green. He can probably have removal quite a bit. But that's annoying. That's very annoying. That is annoying. Really annoying. That is insane. 2 cats. I wish I said something about cats, but it doesn't. Well, he's not outracing us at this point. He could outrace us in the future. But this police line is going to put a big dent in his plans. That is no doubt about that. We're obviously going to attack here. Get 4 damage in. And then we can just cast this Fleecebrand Lion. It's definitely a better play than this, because this we want to be bestowing. And if we draw a land next turn, we're in a very good shape. Okay. Well, we did. That is about perfect. Certainly not what he wanted to see. I know that. He's probably not going to be very happy about that. I mean, he's a black-green deck. He's going to be a ground deck. He's going to be able to block all the stuff for forever. Of course, going to monstrous this, because we don't really have any other plays. We're definitely outracing him, but this is going to be a bomb. Yeah, knew it. If we draw another land next turn, I do not foresee him winning this game. We did. Well, we got a pretty damn good. I'm going to do it on the Fleecebrand line so I can make it bigger than any of his ground guys so I can actually attack with it. And from here on, he pretty much just loses. I mean, granted, there's still... I mean, if I know about Theros block, there's a lot of cards you could have. Some massive creature. I don't know. But I mean, we did draw pretty well. Almost perfectly. I mean, if he wins this game, you know, there's nothing we could do about it. I'm not going to attack with this Fleecebrand Line because he can just sacrifice his Humbler Mortars to make this an 8/8. And then makes it kind of irrelevant. We're just going to try to go for the win with this Cavalry Pegasus until he just dies. He has 1 card in hand. I mean, I will be curious to see if he can pull this one off. He could pull it off a number of ways. Might not actually win this game. It might actually not work. I think it will, though. He's going to sacrifice this thing, yeah. I mean, he obviously can't kill our Fleecebrand Lion. It says trample. Most damage you can do on his board right now is 4, or you can't do it. That was a very potent 5-card hand. We drew very well, and when we can do it with 5 cards, we can do it with 7 cards. Huh. This deck does not have hand does not have a lot of power. I'm just gonna keep. I mean, it might not have enough gas to do it because it just only has 2 drops. That's a pretty good draw. Well, Cavalry Pegasus, I think, is the play. Just get as much damage in as possible in the early game. And put the counters on it with the Satyr Grove Dancer. I mean, that ramp early is pretty annoying. That can take over the game very quickly. I would love to get a land next turn. That'd be the most optimal. I'm a bit disappointed that this is pretty bad against this. But we'll find time for it, I'm sure. Yeah, his hand is pretty good. I just gotta say, it could wreck us. Like this forlorn Sudama, yeah. Potential for it to, okay. That, what? Okay. I don't know who he was up to, but he took some time off to think, I guess. Okay, so we drew land. Suggested Tactics allows us to kill this and kill this, which is just a blowout, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it's better than anything else that we could that we really do. So I'm just gonna kill up both those guys. This really should not be allowed to untap. And if it's his plan to win, then well, it's pretty good for us. So, and then we can just do other things later. So he does have another bomb. Well, big guy, should we say? We don't really have a board presence. That is the thing. This has a longer game plan, I think, so, and a better game plan anyway. Like 2 damage return is not going to cut it when he's dealing 3, 4, and then 5, and so on and so on. So that is the play right now. God's Willing would be an incredible card to have right now, but we did pass 2 of them, and I don't regret it. Okay, that's incredibly frustrating. Okay. Well, obviously a land would be quite useful. And we are in trouble right now. We are in trouble. I really don't like bestowing it on this, but maybe we should bestow it on this and try to get in the extra damage each turn. Yeah, I don't know, but this has the evasion. When you just cast 1 bomb and suddenly this looks so bad. I mean, it almost happened to us right there in that last game. Regardless of what we do, this is only 3 power. That's gonna be 4 power next turn. I'm just can't even block. I'm just gonna go with the evasion. I mean, this would be a lot easier if we just didn't have this get cast in the darkness. We'd actually have a chance of racing him. But at the moment, it's looking pretty grim. I'm saving the Seder Grove Dancer for a more big attack, because we can still take damage. I mean, granted, he might just have a trick that would just lose the game, but I feel safer not letting this go right away. We are going to have a very hard time racing this guy. It's looking pretty unlikely that we can. We have chump loggers for a while, but I'm not liking my chances at all. I mean, if you can chump block for long enough, it's possible. I mean, I might just have to cast a Looting Starcaster to just chump block at some point. I mean, I'm doubting he has just land in his hand. Don't even have any humans to give us to use this ability. That's a pretty big Pegasus. We It'd be a lot bigger if it was not Casting Darkness. Given that he has a lot of inspired cards, I would be like, I mean, if I was playing inspired cards, I'd be happy to use these Starcasters on my own creatures, but so we're gonna chump block here. That's perfectly fine. The hell? Are you serious? Well, this just got a lot harder. Well, we have chump blockers for 3 turns. I'm just gonna try to grind this out. The Fairies Band Trumper is too small and not enough evasion. I mean, those Casting Darkness have saved him a lot of trouble, that's for sure. So he could have had a trample card or something that trampled over my guy, which would be very fortunate. Unfortunate indeed, does not. So might as well. So we have threats. That's for sure, and his Casting of Darknesses are not cutting it. He's gonna lose before. He can come up with this Varus Band thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't even. Oh wow. Well, we just win that game outright right here, don't we? Yep, we did it. Back for round 2. Back for round 2. Well, this hand is very acceptable. We can cast every card in our hand. I'm usually happy with those kind of hands, so definitely keeping. Wonder what we're playing against. Red. Wow. That's insane. That is just insane. I have a feeling this is going to go pretty badly for our opponent, but I guess still Skink is just not going to cut it. And a time to feed, I don't even know. This hand is just busted, but anything can happen, you know. I mean, I have no idea what he has in his hand. He could just have a Bolt of Keranos right here, and then this is back to square one. But we still got a Sedescent Oathsworn that's just gonna kill his guy with time to feed. But I mean, he could have only removal in his hand. Who knows? And if he attacks, do we block or not? We probably don't block. Oh, we definitely block. Now we definitely block because I mean, I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he would attack. Okay, this is a very bad draw. Pretty sure we would like to draw any so many other cards besides that. I'm considering attacking, hoping he doesn't block. Actually, I hope he does block, and then if he doesn't, maybe just time to defeat it. I mean, it's 2 for 2, but I do lose one of my best creatures. I could just try to attack and put him on defense with the Sedescent Oathsworn. If he attacks, I could also just Phalanx Formation if he blocks. in any case, I think the correct decision in any case is just to attack, because I can still outrace him. And definitely the correct decision is not to time defeat before attacking. I think he won't block. That's what I think. He does. He doesn't. Personally, I'm gonna try to wait and to use his time defeat until I can just kill this guy off. And I would really actually like him to just. He's not gonna tap out to attack. It could get out of hand. That's the thing that worries me. No, I like putting on my own pressure more than I like using up my resources to just get even trade. I mean, this is definitely a threat. And if you cast another one, we might not be able to kill it. But in any case, I mean, if he's... really curious to see what he casts next. Like, if it was that 2/3 flyer that can get bigger, that I know we passed, it would be very good because we just time defeat. Okay. I don't want to. Well, we just attack. I mean, this is 4 damage as well. He's dealing 4 damage, we're dealing 4 damage, just that we attack first. I don't really like casting this Cavalry Pegasus, but there's not really a way around it. I mean, I gotta commit threats to the table. We're not in any danger of losing right away yet, so... Yeah, we just do it like that. Also, next turn, I mean, I would like to really monstrous Displacement Lion. That's what I'd like to do. That's a little bit annoying. It certainly makes our clock a lot less. I mean, provided he just has tricks in his hand, may have been a good idea just to kill this sigiled skink right away. Who knows? That's pretty bad. It's certainly a threat that I will have to deal with pretty soon, or risk losing. I mean, ideally, I really should have just suspected that. I'm definitely running out of ideas. One plan is to hope to draw a land next turn. You phalanx formation this becomes a 3/3, and then becomes a 4/4, and then it still dies. That's not a plan. It's not really a reasonable plan to hope to outrace him either. I have to try though. I wonder if his 1 damage is valuable enough to make him tap. I think it is. I'm gonna cast Hidden Robe Dancer, put a counter on this as an Oathsworn, and try to get him to tap 3 mana so he makes this so it can't block. It's possible I could win from there. Possible, but still unlikely. We have a possible win next turn with this Phalanx formation. That'd be 8 damage just with this if he doesn't block. And then if we can do both, I mean, might actually win, but who knows what he has in his hand. Another Void his end would be backbreaking. I mean, he hasn't really cast that many cards yet, so I mean, he's just been winning with the cards he has. I mean, Oh. Okay, well. It's a good thing you did that instead of the Citizen Oathsworn. But now we know he has it, and it's a pretty good card against us. As I said, our hand was very good, but it might have been a good idea just to kill his only creature. We needed to draw a land that turn to even hope to have a chance at winning. That being said, we can still survive one more turn, I think. 1, 2. Let's see, that'd be 4. If he doesn't block, yeah, if he doesn't block, no, I think in every possible way I can think of, it's a correct choice of time to defeat this Nyxborn Triton. Gain 3 life so you don't just lose next turn, and attack with everything. So, and then if he has a trick, we still, I mean, he has 1 mana open. I'm just gonna, he has 1 card in hand. I'm gonna assume, since he put a card on the bottom of his library, he doesn't have the win next turn. Who knows what happens? He has another Magma Spray that is in fact game. And if he has a burn spell or trick, we also just lose. I think we did pretty well in this game regardless. I think I stand by my plays even if it means we lose, and if it means that in hindsight I might have won. It may be incorrect that in every case you kill the creature right away if you can just 2 for 2 it. And he's not going to attack. Well, now he just loses. So, well, he might not lose. Yeah, he might not lose. But we're just going to tap this guy down and see what he has. Well played. Well played. Oh, that was a very, very, very tricky one. The time to feed saved us our life. This hand is very mediocre. It has no 2-drop, but it has a 3-drop and then a 5-drop, which is not exactly happy and no way to trigger it. I'm just gonna keep it. We can draw into good things from here. That's not the optimal card I would like to draw. I'm just gonna cast that Nesting Courser if I have a choice. Yeah, if I play the Nyxborn Triton, yeah, he does. That Nesting Courser out classes it. That's a pretty good draw. Oh, well, I'm just gonna cast this anyway. It's a better creature at the moment, with not enough cheap ways to trigger the Citizen Oathsworn. This Citizen Oathsworn is still a good play later in the game, whereas Nesting Courser becomes more relevant later. Oh, okay. Well, we're just going to kill that creature then with our Exorciate, which means that this still would have been a bad play if we played it first. And just kill that thing. It's a 2 for 1, but who knows what else he has in his hand. That's a fine play. Unfortunately, it's just not going to cut it at the moment. Attack. And then we're going to try to just win this game with this Theros Band Trumper. This 2 damage return is not going to be fast enough, and I mean, I know there are cards in red and blue that could speed it up, but we have a lot of damage here. I mean, Anger of the Gods. We have a lot of stuff in our hand. A lot of stuff. We could tap down his blocker or anything. I mean, it could just be downhill from him from here on. It's a good card. It's a very good card. We're definitely putting those 3 counters on it. Well, we can still cast this Leonin Snarecaster and attack. Cast that for sure. Tap down his Siren. And play, yes, of course. Play the Satyr Grove Dancer. So when it untaps, next turn we can time to feed this away. We do have him, in fact, 2 turns. It's looking very good for us. But I will never underestimate any player of Magic Online, especially what kind of luck they can get. Is he actually going to go with both? Wow, that's pretty daring. Maybe he has the card that untap guys. I don't know. I'm confused, really, because I mean, this is a win on the board. Another Siren of the Finkel Coast is not going to cut it. A lot of cards aren't going to cut it. We aren't even dead next turn, so oh, also not going to cut it. Oh, that's fair. And it's certainly a very good play. But we had the supply line cranes, which is not going to make him very happy, I assume. So, attack with those. Two good disruption play. 2 good disruption plays. Not, yeah, two of them. But I mean, now the supply lane crane is gonna be able to block his 4/4, which I mean he has to bounce it. We definitely don't have the win next turn. But he has to have 2 spells out of the win this turn. And one of them has to be a burner pump. And the other one has to be disruption to get rid of the supply lane. So I am feeling optimistic about this. Might have a magma jet. I'm just gonna block his 2/2. Fine. Are we actually 1 short? Looks like we are 1 damage short. Oh man. This would be so sucky if we actually lose because we didn't distribute the counters properly. Oh man. Oh man, that's unfortunate. I don't think we have any way to win this game. Ugh. Oh man, that is depressing. There's no way we could win this game. That's very unfortunate. The card that would have won us the game next turn. Oh, we just it's apparently his plan is to win with flyers. We're just gonna sideboard in something. Probably sideboard out. I'm not happy with this Ferris Band Trumper. I'm just gonna sideboard in Shredding Winds. Let's see how this goes. Oh man. This is very, very iffy actually, like man, if you mulligan, we might just throw away the game, but I mean if we keep, we might just draw land. Oh, okay, we're on the play. I'm gonna keep, but I'm very unhappy about this hand. Like 9 times out of 10 it will not pan out for you. Like we literally have to draw nothing but guess. It's a very, very good draw. I suddenly feel a lot more optimistic about this hand by drawing that. That being said, it's a good draw and a lucky one, and that's fine. Land is land. Monster seeing this policeman line would be very, very sad for him. I'm aware of that. If he tries to attack into this, what is his plan? I don't even know. I'm not going to attack with this policeman lion. I'm just going to attack with this, and then monster assist next turn. The thing is, we attack with we just attack with this. Attack with both of these, you can double block here and then take. I mean, I think monster seeing this is worth it. Or it's worth not attacking this turn. Force him to double block anyway and lose both its creatures. I mean, still puts him in a worse position, a bad position. His position right now is quite mediocre. If he has a doesn't tap out this turn, monster seeing policeman lion might actually not be a good idea. That's perfectly fine. Fine. So now it gives us plenty of room to just monstrous this, and then I mean that's a good card, no doubt. So still going to attack with both these guys. He can double block and then just kill this, and then he's not really left with any gas. And he still has a monstrous policeman line to deal with. I was pretty sure he could do that. Just monstrous this, so that no shenanigans can happen. Pretty decent chain of plays, I think. It'd be pretty hard for him to outclass the policeman line. It's possible, but unlikely considering he's playing red-blue. And we're at 20 life also. Also elite skirmisher if we can get some targets. We're obviously going to block here. I'll take that trade any day. I am unhappy with that. And now we're really representing a very, I wonder what his plan is here. Like, all if we do is draw something, and I think he just loses. Drawing creature like Destin Oath Sworn would be pretty mediocre at this point. We'll put counters on that. Well, speak of the devil. We're gonna attack with this. He's gonna be forced to block with something. I'm guessing. Could just take it and go to 1. But if he does that, I mean, I'm gonna probably chump block at some point. He is gonna go to 1. I'm quite disappointed that. I mean, considering that we drew, we kept a 6 land hand. We're doing okay. Six, 10, 12 is not 15. Interesting. Must have a creature and disruption. I'm going to take it. Probably has a void design as well, so that is a horrible draw. That is a really bad draw. I was just talking about how I didn't want to draw these, and I draw them. Like, literally, I would rather draw anything else, basically. Big guy, like, my god. Now, if I swing with these only, he bounces this. I don't lose my guy. He loses his guy. I could technically still survive. Thing is, I lose by exactly lethal. It could have been a land. It could have been something else. I'm just gonna attack with everything. He has it. He has it. Well, that just seals the deal for us. Oh well. So many cards that could have won us the game, and unfortunately we didn't get them. Now we just course lose. Yeah, now it's over. It sucks because last game the win was 1 card away. Yeah. Oh well. It's a very, very unfortunate sequence of plays, that's for sure. Very unfortunate indeed. I mean, you can see what happens. I mean, this person, he certainly got a lot of gas, and all his cards were very good. I'm very surprised that we were not able to win this game. Very disappointed. Oh well, I mean, I don't really understand how he overcame our fast start. It was just... I mean, you can see all this gas that would have just won us the game right there. It's insanely depressing. Shut up!